Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about one of the worst things that you can hear when you're preparing for a trip. Your flight has been canceled. So what happened? I was preparing to go to Seattle, had my tickets booked, and the night before my flight I got an email from Air France saying, your flight's been canceled. It's terrible. Not the flight from Vienna to Paris, but the flight from Paris to Seattle. So the big one, the one that matters. And you say, okay, well, if the flight from Vienna to Paris had been canceled, maybe I could have found a way to get there by car, by train, something like that. It would have been a long haul, would have been difficult, but I might have made it in time. But instead it was the long flight from Paris all the way to Seattle. So what happened? There was a strike, okay? In France, it's the 1st of May. I should have known maybe. You don't fly on the 1st of May, especially not in France. The air traffic controllers went on strike. Lots of planes were canceled, lots of flights were canceled, and it affected us. On Air France, we had been planning this trip for a while. We had even booked premium economy. It was really, something special. I wanted to do a video about the premium economy offering on Air France, which is supposed to be fantastic, but because of this, we didn't get to try it. What did happen, though, is we got rebooked 6 hours later on Delta. So different airline, part of the partnership with Air France, of course, but a different airline. Now, in the EU, there is a regulation called EC-261, and EC-261 will give you compensation for a canceled flight, among other things, and it depends on how far the flight is, how much delay there was, whether or not they could get you on the same flight the same day, within 2 hours, 4 hours. You can read all the regulations down in the description below, and it'll tell you everything about what you can claim here. And we didn't realize it at the time. We said, okay, we're going to fly to Paris. We got the notification in early morning, I guess it was, that in fact we had been rescheduled. So for us it was really annoying, but it wasn't a showstopper. It's not like we couldn't do our trip. So we get the flight on Delta. It's a different plane. It's a different premium economy. The seats, the pitch, the width, everything's a little bit different. And, we were a little disappointed, but we were still getting to Seattle that we wanted to get to, albeit 6 hours late. Okay, so what happens next? We have our trip. It's wonderful. I come back and I think we had a flight from Lyon to Madrid a few years ago, and it was canceled when we were already standing at the gate. So we made alternate arrangements and we claimed it through EasyJet, and we were able to get not only the money back for that flight, but the cost of the train to the other flight, so the train to Paris and then flight from Paris to Madrid instead of Lyon, and even got comped for the taxi fare from the Lyon airport to the Lyon train station. We just weren't sure how this was going to work with Air France and Delta being partners, but according to the rules, according to the EC-261 regulations, it doesn't matter if they reschedule you on a different airline, even if it's on the same day. It's as much about the delay, how much delay there was. So we got back to Vienna. I go onto the Air France site and I start to go through all the different options, clicking and my way through, and I find out that there's a case that I can generate, and I thought, okay, we'll generate this, we'll see what happens. I didn't know what the financial benefits would be of this, what the compensation would be like, so we just went through the motions and did it, and within 24 hours, I got an email back from Air France saying that they had seen my case and that I would be getting a refund, and that I should provide my bank details. And I thought, wow, this is really great. Still don't know how much though. So I wrote back and said, well, is this just for me, or does my wife have to submit individually for her compensation? And I got an email back within a few hours. No, Mr. K, you don't have to do that. Because both people were on the ticket, this will be handled as one case, and you will be getting 600 euros per person, which is actually, from what I've read, the maximum refund that you can get based on the EC-261 regulation. I have to read the whole thing. It's quite a long bit of regulation there, but this is what they told me. I'm like, wow, that's great. So here's my bank information. I sent it to them, and sure enough, within 48 hours, 600 euros for each of us. in my bank account. I think this is a really fantastic thing. You know, summer is coming. People are traveling. People are traveling at record numbers, even more than before the pandemic. When you look at a map of the air traffic over Europe any given moment, it's mind-boggling how many flights are in the air. I've heard people tell me that planes can't even get clearance to take off until they've been approved to land at their destination. Most flights within Europe are less than 3 hours. So they don't want planes just going up into the air and circling around. It just doesn't help with the situation with the amount of air traffic that's going on. So with everybody traveling again, you're going to expect more cancellations, more delays, and you have an avenue for compensation if a flight gets canceled. I think the main rules here are that it must be an EU company originating an EU flight from an EU airport. Beyond that, again, read the regulation down below and see for yourself, but be armed with this knowledge that it's not just about, oh, we got you on another flight, that's great, you know, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours later, or the next day. It's about, will they comp you for a hotel if it's overnight? Will they give you money back, 100, 200, 300, 600 euros? It's really something you have to just go through the process and make sure that if you're hit with a delay or a cancellation, you don't miss out on EC-261 as your way of getting compensated for time lost and inconvenience because of a flight cancellation. So that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.